hate this hobby.
Because of those fucking things right there. That little freaking slit down inside there. This is the 520 boom, but the 600 boom is exactly the same thing. That's where the air comes out. It's actually in between these two little bulbous freaking things. But we're trying to get it to work. And what I've got so far is I've got this piece of aluminum shaped, and it's not even close to the shape. This is just the outer shape. And what I've got right now is I've got the aluminum piece on the inside, and you can't really see the shape with all the tape on there. But you can see a little gap. Oh, my piece of wood fell, I think. Did it? Yeah, it did. Well, shit. Where's my piece of wood? All right, got my piece of wood back up in there. So, you can see there's the hole. You can see it there. And this is a rough shape. And this is not the final thing by any goddamn means because my OCD is going freaking nuts. But what you've got is you got the air that's going to come out of that hole and then be directed down the side of the boom. What that does is that takes the air coming off of the main rotor and is directed around the boom all the way around, and that creates lift coming this way, which is the anti-torque. On the full scale ones, this creates between 60 and 80% of the total anti-torque for the helicopter. So I'm trying to do it. Whenever I got this helicopter, I promised myself I would try to do it. All else fails, I can fill the whole freaking hole and call it good and not worry about it. But I've got a whole another one to try to make down here. But I'm going to try and see if I can't wick a little bit of CA in there and see if it holds. This has been the most frustrating thing to try to figure out how to get the air to come out. And I'm still going to have to probably 3D print those shapes right here, these shapes right here. I figured I get my son to 3D print that shape, and then I can just put it on the inside, and that'll help suck the air out down into it. I'm hoping. We all know how much physics goes into RC stuff. We have to spin our rotors so much faster in order to create lift. So I have no idea if this is actually going to actually work or not, but I'm going to try it. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I got this piece of aluminum, beat this shit into somewhat of a shape. It kind of goes inside and then follows this curve on the inside. So it looks kind of like a Z shape, but I'm probably going to have to put some supports in here because this is so thin. And now I just cut a big old slice down the side of it. And it's blah, 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 blah. And that is a technical term. All right. We'll see what this does later on. And here are the hand-shaped pieces of dowel I used to create those shapes instead of 3D printing them. What am I doing? I'm doing that. Oh, fuck. I guess I could fix it if I needed to. I could fill this back up with fiberglass, but it's lost all of its integrity of the tube now. Fuck. This is the other flange that will go in here and sit in here all nice and pretty. Yeah, once I get it finally adjusted. So that'll be number 2 because it's actually gonna be like that. And the second one I did came out really nice and pretty compared to the first one. It's all freaking blah. And usually it's the first one that comes out good, not the second one. Ugh, all right. I'm trying to get this done. I have less than 30 days till Palooza. Oh, shit. What the fuck have I done? All right. It's glued in place. I have it taped along the inside. just to hold it in place. You can see where the other one is. And then I ran some thin CA on there after I roughed it all up, because I roughed up the aluminum and then I roughed up the inside of the fiberglass here. Ran some thin CA through it, and then I ran a bead of thick CA through it, and we're gonna let that sit overnight. Okay, kids. God, my voice sounds like shit. So, I got the slats installed with the little pieces of wood inside. We tested it, and that is blowing a shit ton of air out. So, we are going to see how it all works. Put that over there. And I haven't done any changes to the helicopter. The only thing I've done is add those. So I didn't change the gyro settings, I didn't change the RPM, I didn't do shit. So we are just going to see if it makes a huge difference on here. And so it should be kind of fun. If nothing else. Just to see what kind of reaction we get with the two and the downdraft. So you can see the edge of it is just inside the tips, and most of the time the air coming off here actually comes inside, so it's actually catching the edge of the downwash. And the downwash doesn't come straight down, it comes down this way because this thing is going to be up there. So as it rotates, the air actually comes down this way and will get sucked around all the way under. It's supposed to go down. This is supposed to help do that. So what I'm hoping I see is that when I put it in heading hold, that it would actually go like there in a hover, is what I'm hoping, what I'm expecting. Now whether it does it is a whole nother thing. So
rate mode.
There's rate mode. I've seen it go both ways in this spot. So we'll see how this actually does. I'll make sure my gas is turned on. Gas is turned on. We're all fueled. The drain's out. The plug is back in. Everything is in, everything is on. If I turn this on, there we go. Pump comes on. All right. Let's see if this makes a difference. There we go, got to start. We see the temperature coming up. It's already at 400. We got it good. A little bit of flame out the ass end, not too bad. Now we can
Like RPM.
Now I'm going to start it off in rate mode like I normally would. So theoretically, this should be turning nose left. Oh yeah, it's already turning nose left. Oh yeah, it's doing it. Gonna put it in heading hold. Let's see how big the opening is. Not big at all. Look at that. It's not even half. Rock steady hover. Wow. So if I flip it into rate mode,
It overpowers. Okay, flipping it into rate mode again. There we go. So it's actually working. It's actually doing what it's supposed to do. That is badass. Oh, right off the edge.
So the Coanda Slats actually worked. There was a physical difference. You saw whenever I flipped it into rate mode, it completely overpowered. So now what I can do is I can go in and I can start dialing down the EDF to get more battery time. And what I'm going to do is I'm not going to change the mechanical setting of the tail cone, and I'll dial it down until the point where the Coanda slats and the opening of the tail cone will balance each other out and hold it in rate mode. So that's the next logical step for this. And then, of course, to get bigger batteries, because I still have almost a whole tank of fuel left over as of right now. So I'm getting, that was a 5-minute and 37-second flight on the EDF. It came out to 11% left over. I used 8,000 milliamps out of the packs, which should be more like 20% left, but it was showing 11. So, we know how these things are. If they're really 5,000 milliamps, you're supposed to get 4,000 and be at 20% by the numbers, but that doesn't always work. So On to the next part.